Hey everyone, come on in. Welcome back to Weather on the Go. All your weather coverage on this Friday, November 15th, 2024. And in today's weather forecast, we're going to be going over the latest on Tropical Storm Sara in the Caribbean. And we're going to be going over the latest on your weather forecast out your door across North America. Will there be any snow in the short range or long range forecast? We'll get to that in today's video. And also make sure to subscribe to the channel while you're here so you get the latest weather information right at your fingertips. Turn on post notifications so you are notified when I do post my videos. Like the video by giving it a thumbs up down below. It helps out more than you know. And of course, leave any comments, questions, and concerns below. We'll get to those after the video. Temperatures this morning did start off a little chilly up here into parts of the northern Rockies and the northern plains. A little bit milder though, in contrast across the Ohio Valley and the mid-Atlantic, waking up to temperatures in the upper 40s to low 50s. But this afternoon, those areas will not really warm up too much in the Ohio Valley or the mid-Atlantic. We'll stay around 50 degrees or so, but we will be warming up in the plains back into the 60s all the way up into Nebraska, into western Iowa today, 70s further to the south. And looking at precipitation, a very, very uneventful Friday on the precipitation front here. We don't have much precipitation across the United States or really North America. We have a little bit of snow back here across the Intermountain West. That'll continue this afternoon. Tonight, that'll move up toward Montana, western Wyoming, and parts of eastern Idaho, and maybe even northern parts of Utah. But other than that, we're really not seeing much in the way of significance from the precipitation standpoint as we go through the next 24 hours. Light precipitation overall, and whatever falls will be very light across parts of the western United States here, and a lot of that will really fall in the form of snowfall here, especially in the Sierras, out here in the Rockies from Nevada all the way up here toward Idaho, parts of Montana, western Wyoming and Utah, even parts of Oregon, seeing some snowfall there as well through your Saturday. Let's check in with Tropical Storm Sara, still in the western Atlantic Basin. This is in the western Caribbean, and what was likely a few days ago to be a hurricane is no longer the case. This system is interacting with a lot of significant landmass here as it continues on its westward journey into the Central American countries here of Belize, Honduras, dropping very heavy rain, lots of significant flash flooding down here. And here's the latest track. This is the official track from the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida. Remains this as a tropical storm upon landfall here this weekend in Belize. We have tropical storm warnings for Belize, Honduras as well, and Guatemala. And you can see as we go further to the west, this will interact with a lot of land. So with landmass interaction, this will weaken to a tropical depression and then eventually a post-tropical cyclone here once it moves back over the Bay of Campeche. So looking at the latest guidance this afternoon, we're at 998 millibars. That equates it to a weak tropical storm, but don't let that fool you, folks. We're going to see some very heavy rainfall. We've already seen almost 20 inches of rain in parts of Honduras, significant flash flooding down here. We're going to see a lot of heavy rain for Belize as well this afternoon. That'll really continue with the heavy rain in earnest as we go into Saturday, Sunday, and then by Monday, finally we get a break from the rain down here into parts of Central America, at least the significant rainfall as the system moves over the Yucatan and into Mexico, and it'll really have a lot of land interaction, so a lot of this will start to break up once it moves toward the Bay of Campeche. What were you looking for with rainfall? Well, a lot of it, okay? We already saw 2 feet of rain roughly down here in parts of northern Honduras. We got another 2 feet that is on the way. So when it's all said and done, some of these areas literally could see 3 to 4 feet of rain in isolated instances, with most of northern Honduras at least seeing a foot or two of rain. So we're seeing a lot of rainfall down here. Flash flooding is likely, maybe up to a foot of rain across eastern Belize, up there toward the eastern parts of the Yucatan locally, and then as it moves further west, the rainfall amounts will lessen, but still several inches of accumulating rain will be likely. Looking at our temperatures closer to home this weekend, and you can see a pretty nice November weekend on tap as we go into Saturday. 50-degree line all the way up here into the northern plains. Sunday as well. A lot of 50s I can see out there across the lower 48. A little bit chillier up in southern Canada. Temperatures up here into the 30s and the 40s, but hey, it's the middle of November. We will definitely take it. We are tracking our next big storm system. This will traverse across the middle of the country and cause some problems. And whenever you see major blocking up here with a big high pressure system up in Greenland, that's going to send a cold shot of air down across the western parts of the Canadian provinces and into the western US, and actually even down into Mexico as we go into this weekend. So looking at the storm track for Saturday, it'll be across the west still with some snowfall here extending from parts of the northern Rockies back toward the Intermountain West. A lot of us pretty dry here in the middle of the country. Moist air, though, we'll be returning out of the Gulf of Mexico, getting us ready for Sunday as our new low pressure system trying to develop down here toward the Red River Valley. And this could spark some severe weather as we go into Sunday. Sunday also, another big storm coming in across the Pacific Northwest, Seattle, Portland, seeing more rainfall, heavy snows for parts of the Cascades, especially Washington State part of the Cascades and the northwestern Rockies up there in northern Idaho and western Montana. And then there's our big low pressure, 986 millibars on Monday there in the Oklahoma Panhandle. Cold front attached with that. We have warm, moist, and unstable air. A lot of storm energy out ahead of this here cold front. And this could bring some severe weather as we even go into Monday as well. And then looking at the severe weather for the weekend as a whole, Saturday got a little bit of a frontal boundary. It could bring a general garden variety storm from Green Bay back toward Des Moines, Kansas City, and even back toward the Dodge City, Kansas region on Saturday. Severe weather is unlikely at this point. Going into Sunday, a level 2 out of 5. Slight risk of severe weather for West Texas. This includes parts of the Midland, Texas region, Wichita Falls, down here toward Abilene and back toward West Texas, and then across North Texas and even southern Oklahoma on Monday, closer to the I-35 corridor, Dallas, all the way down toward Waco. We'll be keeping an eye on that. Damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes will all be in play both Sunday and Monday. So that will be something to definitely keep an eye on. This system will also pull down that cold air. We did mention that. You can see the colder anomalies across the west, unseasonable warmth for at least the middle to third week of November standards here out east. That'll be replaced by the cooler air as it grabs that cool air and moves it further to the east. So the Mississippi Valley by the middle of next week on the 20th on Wednesday will start to cool down, and then that cooler air will arrive in the southeast by later next week on Friday, November 22nd. With unseasonable warmth following in its footsteps further off to the west. So looking at Tuesday, we got that low pressure system, 991 millibars up toward the Minneapolis-St. Paul region. Some cold air getting in, but what we were talking about the other day was, does the cold air come in fast enough with the precipitation to turn the precipitation from rain to snow? Well, the answer to that likely will be no. It'll take some time, probably till Wednesday, to get some of that, but by then, a lot of this is dry air eating away at the precipitation shield. And then we have a pretty strong low pressure over here in eastern Ohio on Thursday. This is down to 982 millibars. A little bit of some snowfall there for the Appalachians here. You go up in those Appalachian mountains, it cools naturally. And that's where we could start to see some snowflakes later next week, and that may largely continue into Friday next week, a week from today as well. Precipitation will be in no short supply next week, and that's some good news. That's some good news to have. Drought is across the United States. It's pretty significant across the United States, and a lot of green here. That's some good news, just we don't want to see it all at once. A lot of blues over here, though, for the Pacific Northwest. A train of storm systems will just parade in across portions of the Pacific Northwest for Washington State, Western Oregon, Northern California, but Central and Southern California really don't see a lot of rainfall next week at all. And in fact, very bone dry down across this region. Arizona as well. It'll be hard-pressed to see a drop of rain in Arizona next week, but look at all the rainfall, moisture here for Washington State, Oregon, Northern California. Some areas here from Portland all the way down toward Northwest California there could see over 6 inches of rain just during that 5-day period next week. Translating further east, you can see across the central eastern U.S., a lot of us in drought and a lot of us seeing that rainfall here. So that is some beneficial rain to be had, and some of that could come with some snowfall. The colder air does come in a little bit on the backside, but it's not enough to where we see a major snowstorm or anything like that. but we're definitely still seeing the potential for some snowfall across the Great Lakes region, maybe that lake effect snowfall at times later next week. Otherwise, the heaviest snows will be the Cascades, parts of the northern Sierras, the northern Rockies as we go through next week, and that'll be about it. So we'll keep you covered on the weather forecast from the tropics to the North America's weather patterns as well. Make sure to subscribe to the channel down below for the latest weather information right at your fingertips. All you do is to click a button, subscribe, turn on notification button as well, so you are notified of my videos that are posted and my live streams in the future as well. Like the video, give it a thumbs up down below. Definitely helps out more than you know. Leave any comments, questions, concerns below. I'll always answer those after my videos, and I hope everyone has a wonderful and fantastic rest of their Friday out there.